to the cloud. All right, so let's pick up where we left off last time. We're going to continue working on the on this gearbox here. When last we were here, I had just basically threw up this wall. One of the ways that we could do this actually, so why don't I undo the wall here, all right? And let's do it another way, do it with a thin section. Have any of you, anybody had experience doing a thin, an extrude that's just a thin? Because if you remember how I did this one, right? If you look at the sketch, do you see the sketch here? It has both a, it has the outer wall and then it has the inner wall. So I had to kind of make this thing that was, 1/8 of an inch thick. All right. And then when I did the extrude, I extruded that sketch, right? And I just used a standard solid extrude and I used add and it just did that thing and I made it 1 inch tall. Okay. So, Carolyn or Zachariah, have you ever used the, instead of using, let's convert it, instead of using instead of using this solid, we're going to try to use thin. All right. And instead of having to make both the inner and outer wall, we only need the outer wall. So I'm going to roll. Well, actually, so one of you two, are you interested in taking that over? Driving and then, or you want to just watch me do it? Going once?
I'll watch.
Going twice? Zachariah?
I'll watch.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave these two. I'm going to highlight the two of them, right click on them and suppress them. And now we're just going to do the same thing over. All right. And this is going to be pretty simple. We're going to sketch, asking for a plane. We grab this plane. We're now going to, I'm just going to use this feature here called use. And if you use a face, it only picks the outer wall, right? So if you look at what it just did, I'll hide. Where is this part? Is it this guy? Yeah. So if you see, it just did the outer wall, right? It didn't, it's just making that outer wall now. And last time what I did was, after I had made that initial sketch, hang on, I didn't mean to get out. I used the offset, and this is where I put in the 1/8. But now, instead of doing that, we are going to do the 1/8 in the with the extrusion. So here we choose, instead of solid or surface, we choose thin. And then it's saying, hey, well, what would you like to use as your thin? I'm going to use that sketch that we just did there. And the thickness, now notice there are two thicknesses. There's a thickness 1 and a thickness 2. You can have it be like a mid-plane thing so that it's making it, can you see it's kind of going a 1/4 inch thick and it's like 1/8 inch either way, but we don't really want that. What we want it to do is we want it to be 0.125. And then instead of having it be outside, which you can, hang on a minute, I have to hide you guys all again. Instead of having it be outside, I want it to be inside, so I can flip it that way. All right. And now, I will make it 1 inch tall and we'll click OK. And it gets us to exactly the same spot that we were before, but I didn't have to have, I had a simpler sketch here. In fact, I just noticed something as I was doing this. So I'm going to edit this guy here. And it asks me, you can say face or plane. I wondered what would happen if I just chose that face. Would it do? Hang on a minute. X there. If I just choose that face, no, it doesn't feel like it's
What if you
doing the
choose
right
the
thing.
outside face?
Okay, let's try that. Exit there. If I choose that face, you're saying?
That was the thought, but it
Well, that's a wacky thing to do. I wouldn't have picked that. What if I picked the edge, right? There. I could just pick them individually that way, that way, that way. That's not terrible, right? Then I can avoid the sketch entirely. I don't know. So you can see there's a lot of ways you can do it. I'm going to exit out of this, which means all of that change wasn't there. All right, so we built the wall. The next thing I think we should do is uh, we should put on some ears that will be like a cap, so that you can, when we want to screw on a cap. So to put the ears in, we're gonna pick that sketch there, or that surface. We're gonna do a sketch. I am just gonna draw four circles, just however I want them to be. I don't really care what they really look like. I'm going to then I'm going to highlight, and I'm going to hit the E button to make them all equal. If you look here, when you see this, you can see the equals. If you just hit E, it's the same as actually getting in that mode. So the nice thing about using these shortcuts is you can pick them first and then just hit the H and they'll all go horizontal, or pick them and hit them all and they'll all go coincident or whatever, tangent or whatever. So it's a nice sort of shortcut to be really quick. Let's make them a ½ inch tall, ½ inch, 0.5. And now I'm going to kind of drag them where I want them. Probably I should have done it before I did that, but anyway, it's pretty easy to drag things around. So here, 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 and there. I think what I would like them to be is tangent to this inside circle. So I'm going to go into the tangent mode, tangent. I grab that inside circle and that guy. Yep. This one and this one. This one and that one. That one and that one. Now I'm going to make them vertical with respect to each other. So vertical, I can go that dot and that dot, and now they're very nice and symmetrical. This dot and that dot should also be nice and symmetrical. And then I don't really have a strong preference for where they ought to be. I guess. Yeah, you know what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make kind of a bounding square. I'm going to make, so I don't know how I really want to do this. I'm just sort of trying to figure it out. So here, make a bounding square, make things tangent like that and that, and that guy and that guy. I don't really need that one. I just wanted a horizontal line. So now I think it would make sense to have these be tangent to this and these be tangent to that. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a strong preference, but let's just see. Those went dark and those went dark. And now I'm going to just extrude them down a ½ inch because I'm going to, whoa, what did it just do? Oh, I'm in the thin mode. I was like, that is not what I wanted to do. I'm going to do that sketch, and I'm going to do an add, but I want it the other way, and I only want it to go ½ inch because these are only 0.5. All right, so no, 0.5. It doesn't look right. What's wrong with it? I just not, oh, there, that looks like 0.5. All right, so then we now need a lid. I'm gonna, instead of making the lid be just a thin plate, which I could imagine I'm gonna actually make the lid be like You know what would be really clever? Would be, it might, no, I don't, because I don't want the motor to be that way. Nah, anyway, I was gonna do something. Oh, and we haven't dug this. Remember how we dug this guy out? We didn't put one here out. We didn't do that yet. So we've got to do that pretty quick. But I think the easiest thing to do is to just extrude this face up here. So I'm going to extrude this face. I feel like it should go, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch, 0.375. That feels good. Yeah, that feels like a nice thickness for something that isn't going to be too warpy. I'm going to make it a new thing because it should be a new thing. The lid, the top. And then I haven't quite put in, how thick did we make this bottom? Do you remember? I don't remember. So I'm going to figure out what the thickness of that bottom is. But that bottom looks like it, well, wait a minute. Let me, well, what is it? It's saying it's 0.48. Why is that so thick? Let's do a section to see. Shift X. And let's just do a section through that. Huh. Oh, I see. That's right. I wanted to have my shaft. Like when I eventually dig this out, I'm going to have some distance that I want my shaft to be supported. Yeah, so that's why we made it so thick. Yeah, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't want to do that again. I mean, if we were trying to make it light, we could probably do some and just have it be a local feature, but I don't know. We're not really worried. Nobody's going to really care about this being heavy because it's just a class demo. So, all right, I'm getting out of the X mode. I now remember. Yeah, we'll make it that same thickness. The point, what did we say that was? X that from here to there is 0.438. All right, so now I can just go here and sketch. Use that same surface and extrude that up 0.438. Beautiful. And we want to add it to, what are we adding it to? Part 9. Yes, that feels good. All right. So we've got a very nice little box here. What we haven't done is put we haven't put the screw heads in yet. So let's do that. Actually, let's change the name here to be gear housing lid. Gear housing lid. Perfect. All right. So, excellent. What we didn't do now is, again, we should dig out this bearing, and then we want to do the same in the top. So, but before we do that, I wanted to put the holes in here. So, sketch, get out of the drawing mode. I want to sketch on that. I want to just put some dots in. There's one dot. Notice you can kind of highlight it, find out where the center is, get the second one. Third one. Fourth one. Then I can exit my sketch. Exit the sketch, do a hole. First hole will make clearance, and it will be at number 10. And we're going to pick that sketch. The merge scope is just the lid. And we click OK. Through all, start from part, simple. Yes, good. Why did that not work? Edit.
You put it through the housing, not the cap.
Nice, thank you. There we go. Now we can also then do the holes in the other one while we're at it, and these should be tapped holes through all sketch points, the same sketch, merge scope, housing. Yes, perfect.
We deselected the housing.
Ah, all right, thank you. Silver keeping me honest. Good, and then I always look down and just make sure that it did the right thing. Yep, that's what I wanted. One thing I didn't do yet is I kind of feel like I wanted to have these sharp corners gone. So I'm going to go back up before I chose this thing here. This is the case. So I'm where did we do this? Here? Here. All right. So as soon as I go over here, I'm going to do I'm going to add fillets or rounds. And we'll make the rounds, I don't know, 0.125. Let's see what that looks like. Does that look like it's better? Yeah, that looks good. And I pick all of these. And because I moved the thing in front of the model tree, I put this feature before I selected the surface that I did for the top. I'm going to get this automatically in the top as well. So actually now what I'm going to do is I'm also going to look at it. So shoot, all kinds of things are happening here. Close that. Where am I? I don't want to be in that. All right. So but I want to also just I want to rename this so we can say start lid. So when we're looking for where does the lid begin, we can where that is. Bring this all the way to the bottom. What it didn't do, oh, edit, it didn't accept. So I'm just going to delete all of this, delete all of that, and I'm going to just grab it over again. And I hope it doesn't screw up. It did screw up, edit. All right. So the surface has been, grab that sketch plane is that sketch plane. And then all of the holes, hang on a minute. Yeah, I can just get rid of, I'm going to get rid of these individually. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to use the concentric tool. And I'm going to say, you are concentric with you. You are concentric with you. You are concentric with you. And you are concentric with you. All right. Did that fix everything? Are these, yeah, they're all black now. Yeah, they're good. Okay, so now I'm okay. And now it has the thing that I wanted. All right, so if you let me go back to the plane that I want to use is the front plane. Okay, so these surfaces here, all of these, we want to go in to, so notice how I don't know what made these extrusions, you see? I'm not sure what did it. All I have to do is highlight a surface from that, and it's like, hey, that was made from that feature. So now we want to go in and we want to make where did the bearings start? Let's actually start where we put those. So I'm going to do the model tree, roll the model tree back to here. Right. And then if you look at what we did was we made that sketch, this sketch, and it had just the top surface. Right. And then we extruded that. It disappeared. Right now we've got that wall. And then we made another sketch. That sketch did the bottom part of it, and then we extruded that, all right? So I'm going to actually start I'm going to rename this one to say bearing bearing cuts. All right. So that I want to remember those when we're doing that. But so what we can do is edit these two sketches to just include more things. So if I go in here, I can edit this sketch. We were only the thing we did this 0.01 here. I can do a similar thing for that bearing. I'm going to hit enter, leave it at 0.25, and I'm going to delete this feature. Shoot, hang on a minute. I'm still in the mode where I had that blue part. I'm going to delete that, that dimension. So that dimension is gone, and now the circle doesn't know what size it is, but I can hit the E button. Notice now as soon as I hit the E button, I'm in the equal thing, and I'm going to say you and you are the same size. So now it's basically going to it's going to work. So now the first feature we had, it did dig out the first. Whoa, hang on a minute. Something got added. Edit this. Sorry, I'm get out of here. Let me go back up here, which is the one that broke. This here, edit. Somehow, oh, okay, it picked both this and it picked this. Well, I don't want any of that nonsense up there. So I'm going to delete all of these. And then it will, good, and it's okay. All right, so that's the first part. In fact, I don't want this guy showing up. So I'm gonna put my mouse over it, hit the Y button, and it disappears because I can see the sketch that I'm trying to work with. This is the sketch I'm trying to work with here. I'm editing that sketch. And now I'm going to do the exact same trick I did before. Well, I could do it another way. I could just say, I'm going to make a circle. I can put the circle any place, right? I didn't care where I put it. And then I could say, well, I want you to be equal. This is equal to this one. So now they're the same. And what else do I want? Well, I want it concentric. I want that to be concentric with that. All right. And now notice it's a little bit bigger because the other one was a little bit bigger. And I only have one place where I put in this magic 0.001. All right. And now if I do the, if I show this housing, now it buried them both into the right place. All right. So now there's another trick we can do here. So we're at the end here, and I would like these holes to be in this one as well. Well, there's an app for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a plane here, and the plane is going to be a mid plane, and it's going to be between that and that. All right, so now see it put a plane exactly in between those. And now I'm going to choose the mirror feature, and I'm not going to mirror a part, I'm going to mirror a feature. And what features do I want to mirror? Well, thank goodness somebody had they renamed what the bearing cuts were so that I could remember what the bearing cuts are. So it was this one and this one. And what's the plane? Why, it's that plane I just made there. Okay. And I feature mirror, extrude. Why isn't that working? Hang on a minute. What if I choose a face? Faces to mirror? I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. Hang on a minute. I think I have to go back to these bearing cuts, edit, and I'm going to say I can't do remove. I can't. Okay, the problem is, here's the problem. It's this. It's the merge scope is the problem. And I can't do merge with all, because if I do merge with all, then it will also eat up my bearings. So this is unfortunate. I can't do the thing I wanted to do, because if I do merge with all, well, hang on, I can just, let's just prove that it does, that if I change both of these to merge with all, if I change this bearing cut, edit, and but then it also eats my bearing. Let's just see what happens if I did it. All right. I do merge with all. The next one, edit that. I'm gonna undo these because I don't think I want to do it this way. Now that I see what we're doing. All right. And now I do my mirror. I mirror not parts, but I mirror features. The features I want to mirror, I could pick them from the model tree. I could also pick them from up here. Oh, I almost forgot. We didn't put in my bearing removers. I'll fix that in a minute, but so we want that extrude, we want that extrude, and we also, let's throw in that extrude while we're at it. And the mirror plane is this one. And did it work? Mirror plane. Still didn't work. Well, that's unfortunate. All right, so I was hoping that I could mirror these. The one way that I could definitely do it would be as if I were to keep this all as one part and then extrude it, but it was a little bit too clever by half. So we're not going to do it that way. I'm going to delete this feature and I'm going to delete this feature. All right. So what I think we should do is we should I think, can I move all of these down to the bottom? I think that's the better way of doing it. I could take all of these bearing cuts, the bearing cuts here, all the way down to and including this one. Okay, let's do that. All right, let me turn these guys off for a minute. Edit, edit, get rid of it in a, so instead of merge with all, make it merge with, yep, housing thing, that's good. Then go here, edit, here. Turn off the merge with all, click OK. And then the last one, I didn't do this one yet, edit. And that one, we also need to have 2 holes here and here as well. So I'm going to edit that sketch. Edit that sketch. I'm going to make a thing anywhere. I then make 2 hole. Oh, sorry, I get into the hole mode. I draw 2 holes. I get into the, I can now select 3, I get out of this mode. I can select that dot, and that dot, and I can then hit H, and it puts them all horizontal. I didn't want it horizontal, Control Z. I select the dots again, I want them vertical. I make them vertical. I then can select this one, and I hit E, I make them equal. I then select this one, and this one, and I make it equal. All right, and now I want to do concentric. So I go to concentric doesn't have a thing, shame on them. I can make that concentric with that. All right, and so now I've just added those same bearing push out features, and I can click them all. Now, my question is, can I grab all of these and move it down to the spot that I wanted to, so that I could put it after my mirror, and then I think it will work. So here, I put this down here. Did anything break? Nothing is broken. Everything is still fine. I can get my plane back. Plane. This is going to work now. Okay. Plane. No, it's still, it might work. It might work. Okay. Midpoint, the entities, that surface and that surface. And then we get the plane back. We do a feature. Mirror. We do, we want to do a feature mirror. And we select that, and that. And we want it to be on that plane. Nope, not the plane. We want to select the mirror plane. And then click OK. Nothing happened because these cuts should also include the top lid. Huh. Still isn't working. It feels like that should have worked. Brad, do you have any thoughts, or Silver? Why mirror is not working?
I'm not gonna lie, I got a little distracted with my own CAD project. If you could walk me through that.
Oh, okay. So I'm doing this. I think hang on a second. So I'm gonna make all three of the extrudes. No, I just added that. I didn't want to do that. All right. So I want to make all three extrudes be included in my merge scope. And then I've made a plane that's in between these two features, in between these two walls.
Mm-hmm.
And now I want to mirror the features that cause these bearings to have holes. So if I edit those, yeah, it just is not doing the right thing according to what I think it ought to do. Mirror the features.
What other options do you have for what to mirror?
Yeah, no, I could mirror the faces, but I don't want to have to do all of, oh, actually, very interesting. So this one worked. Why did the other ones not work? Why did this feature work? What's different about that feature? It's through all. It's
That might be, oh, it's through all, and because it's also added to the housing lid, it's going through that as well.
oh, I think the direction, yeah, okay. Hang on a
I
minute.
will be
I
right
think
back, just a moment.
I can do a here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a different thing for a second. I'm going to merge the two pieces and then split them again, and then see if that works. So just to see if it's the problem is that the part doesn't exist. So now I'm going to just merge the two pieces. Merge them, you and you. Now it's going to complain. And then I do this. It still isn't working. I really don't understand why the mirror feature should put the holes in the right spots, but I don't know why it's not. Okay, well, I'm going to get rid of the Boolean, delete that. So nothing is broken, no bad things have happened to us. I'm going to, prior to doing the mirror, actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to get rid of the mirror. I don't even like it anymore. That mirror.
Oh, Joe,
Yes.
I think it's because that extrude is so it's kind of on the, like, it's not through all, it's up to face of transform 2.
Oh, it's up to face.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, so yeah, forget that. We're not going to do it that way then. Okay, so we can, instead of that, we can, oh, hang on a second. Yes. So, yeah, if we wanted to, okay, so this is a way to do it instead. All right. So, what I say we do is we're going to edit these bearing cuts, edit them. And instead of them being on that extrude face, I'm going to move them up onto the mirror face. So I'm moving my plane before that. All right, so that plane is now, it exists in the world of this. And then I can edit this. And I can, instead of having the plane be this plane, I can have the plane be, I can have the plane be the mirror face. So now everything looks fine. I can click OK here. And now, where's my start bearings? Okay, edit this. Now, instead of, so I want to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, I think this is just the 16th. I don't have to worry about the exact distance going up to face. I think that, so Brad has convinced me. So I'm going to go up to face instead of the face on the bearing. I'm just going to go, I think it's a 16th deep. Do an offset and put in 0.063. 0.063. And you see it's going too short, so I'm going to flip it. Boom. All right, so that did that one fine. And then I'm going to have a second direction, and I'm going to also go up to face. I'm going to go up to this face, and I'm going to do an offset distance, 0.063. And I have to flip it, I think. Oh, sorry. I have to flip the direction I'm going. Can you see it's pointing the single arrow and the double arrow are pointing in the same direction? Well, that's no good. We need to flip that. So I'm going to flip it here. And now it's flipped to the correct way. And it's going to the correct depth. All right, very good. So now we click OK. And now I've got the first half of my thing is working. Now the second part of it is, the second part of the cut is the same thing. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to put it on this mirror face here. And I'm going to click now the extrude. And I'm going to edit that to be the exact same thing we did before, but I just have to go a little bit different. So I'm going to go up to face, that face that's pointing up. I want to go to that face, and I want to go 0.25 deep. All right, so that's what I do. And then I do the second direction. The second direction needs to flip because you can see that both arrows are up. I flip the direction. Flip the direction. It's now down. I want to go, instead of blind, I want to go up to face. What face? Why? That face. Hang on a minute. I don't think I collected the right face. Up to face. That face. And I want to go offset distance, 0.25. And I have to flip the 0.25 because it was the wrong way. And actually, if I remember right, I made that a little bit deeper. I made it, let's make it 0.26 on either side so that it goes a little bit deeper than the bearing so that we know that the flange is determining how deep it goes, not the hole, the bottom of the hole. Okay, and see that's, so I made, that's that 1/10 of an inch. If I did a measurement here between that and that, it's 0.11. I'm not sure how we got an extra 1,000th in there, but somehow we did. So, all right, so that, and the other hole is already working as my hole all the way through. So I can actually just do I don't need the mirror on this one either, so I'm going to delete that mirror. And this is the one that is the hole that goes all the way through. I'm going to change the sketch to be back up on the sketch before. Edit the sketch. Put it, instead of on that surface, put it on the midplane. Click OK. And then edit it and go direction. I think, isn't there like a both directions symmetric?
I think that by default it goes through anything you have selected in the merge scope. You would check
Okay.
the direction box if you only wanted it to go through one direction. I
Yeah,
think.
it does. It does. Yeah, I think I do symmetric. Symmetric is getting it both ways.
There it is.
I think I could do. Yeah. All right. So that's perfect. All right. And so now finally we can do our, I don't really need it, but just to look at it, I might as well as do a mirror. And this time I'm going to mirror the two parts because it's so easy. Now that all the moves are so easy, I can just do this to this. And now we've got our bearings in. We're going to end up having a shaft here that's going to hold our gears, and we're going to end up, this is the shaft that's going to have the output go in through it. So I need to actually kind of blow this part away so that we can actually have the shaft come through. So we should, I don't care which side I want to do it on. I guess I can do it on this side. I do a sketch. I click this side here. I can draw it anywhere. I can then make it concentric. What do I want it to be concentric? I want that surface and that surface to be concentric. And just so I can see it, I need to see the bearing, or not the bearing, but the this hex. So I'm going to grab all of these. I can't grab all of them because I'm in the mode, but that's enough to let me see what I was trying to do. And I don't know, I'm going to put this at 0.75. Is that enough? Yes, it's enough. It gets outside. I hit delete, or not delete, I hit extrude. And I'm going to remove, and my merge scope is just the lid, and I can pick through all because I'm a good person and I don't just use blind. All right, so that is pretty good. Now we've done a lot of things. What I would like to do now is turn it over to some people in the peanut gallery. And the next thing we should do is we should add the shafts in. And then we'll add the gears in several ways. So I'm going to stop sharing. All right, so a lot of work. So first of all, were there questions on how things worked, or were you guys following along pretty well? Yes, no? I know it was going pretty fast, but I was trying to show some different concepts for how you can do the same thing 15 different ways.
Yeah, I understood.
Okay. Zachariah, are you still with us? Yeah, you're not looking confident. Are you feeling confident?
I bet.
All right. All right. So who's Carolyn or Zachariah? Who's gonna make the first shaft, and the second person will make the second shaft? Going once? Going twice? Okay, we're going reverse alphabetical. You're up, Zachariah. Share your screen and let's do it.
Am I doing my own
No,
document?
go. So you can actually. Am I editing the right file? What file was I editing? Is it class?
It's the
Show
correct one.
folder, 2-stage Falcon Gearbox.
Yeah, 2-stage Falcon Gearbox. Yes.
So it's okay if I work on that?
Yeah, worked right in that one. Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Okay, perfect. You're right up to speed. All right, so I find that when I'm going to put stuff on the insides of things, it's really convenient to have it kind of split so that I can tap. So hit Shift X, and then you can choose, I think it was the right. I don't remember. Yep, hit the either the right plane on the model tree, go over to the model tree, to the right, to the left, left.
Wait, where's the,
The model tree is in the very far. Oh, hang on, let me get in a. I need my red pen. I can't possibly be yammering without a. Over here. So that's not the right one. It's not the top. It's. You want it to split. You want to split like right down the middle here. Not that one. No. I think that's right. I think it's the front. Click front.
do I unhide it?
No, you don't have to unhide it. Is it not working? What's, hang on, can you hit? Sorry. Okay, you're in the include, exclude. Yeah, there we go. So get rid of, just that, get rid of that. Yep, good. And then click OK. So now, because we can see the insides of things, we can grab planes and stuff without having to blank parts. It's very nice to be sketching in this mode. So I would say, why don't we just sketch on this plane right here and just draw a 1/2 inch hex and extrude it up.
And on the plane, like,
So you could do the mid plane if you wanted to. We could do the mid plane, but I think it's probably better to use let's actually hide the mid plane now because it's just going to be in the way. So hit hit Y right now. Just hit the letter Y. See, when anything that was highlighted, if you hit Y, it just disappears. Okay, so now we want to do an extrusion. So to do an extrusion, first of all, we need to do a sketch. So grab sketch, and then just touch this plane here. Okay, and now go up and use this polygon tool. And if I were you, I would just draw it out in the space. Don't even try and draw it in there. It's just too busy inside of there. Just draw it anywhere. Draw it anywhere, literally anywhere. Perfect. That's good. Okay, and then tell it instead of you made it a 3-sided thing. We need to make it a 6-sided thing. So you can go in and edit that. You can edit that. So after the first thing you do is you tell it where do you want the center and how big you want. And then after that, you have to kind of like use the mouse to kind of get this to be 6. If you miss it, like you chosen 5, you can then edit this thing. Just double click on that and make it. No, you can.
oh, I can edit
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you can edit it. You can edit anything. Nothing is like a one-time event. So first of all, now it's asking you're back in the plane mode. It's asking you for a plane, so you want to pick that plane. Okay, and then you want to go to polygon, right?
Is it
Pick direct. Just drop it anywhere. Just drop, click. And then now watch for the sides. And when you get to the right number of sides, click. Perfect. Okay. And now we want it to be a 1/2 inch hex. So put a
Nice.
dimension on that. Yep. 1/2 inch. Just drop it now. Drop it someplace. Yep. And make it 0.5. And now I would mouse over this guy right here and hit Y. Y right there. Hit Y. Does that? Yeah. And now that's gone. Perfect. All right. Now make it use concentric to make this arc here and that thing concentric.
like this one right here?
Yep. That one and that one. Good. Now it's in the right spot. And the only reason it's not blue is that it is, you haven't told it where this thing would be oriented. So you can pick like this edge and make it horizontal. Horizontal is this tool right here. Yep. And then just pick that edge. Perfect. Click. Done. All right. So now we're going to extrude it, and we're going to extrude it up to the top. Extrude. It's already picked your sketch. Okay. We want it to, instead of add, we want it to be new. Right. And we want to do up to face instead of blind. Up to face. And now you're going to have to look at the roof. You have to be able to see that. So tilt your part so we can see the roof.
What roof?
We need to be able to pick the roof. Right. I need to be able to see something that's right above my arrow right there. So you have to move your CAD to be able to see that. All right. We want to pick the underside. So you have to tilt it so we can see the underside. Tilt the part. There you go. Now you can see it. And then you can go, hang on, let me clear all of my nonsense. Now, there's a problem is the sketch plane is confusing you. So yeah, you want to pick right there.
This?
There. Yep, that's it. All right. And that's the whole thing. Click OK. All right. And now let's do two things. Let's change the name. Let's make it aluminum.
Let's see, which.
So you do it right down here. Right down here. It's called part 12. Right click on that. And say change, rename it, right? We should name it shaft 2. Okay, and it should be made out of aluminum. So go to here, right click, and then say assign material. Okay, and you want to take it. So there's lots of different aluminums. I just use 6061. Just type in 60, and there's aluminum 6061. Perfect. And then click OK. All right. So now let's make this bearing reappear. How do we do that? Just put your mouse right here and then hit Shift Y. Put your mouse. Oh, sorry, I didn't tell you. I'm not in the drawing mode. Put your mouse right there and hit Shift Y. There, it just comes back. Perfect. All right, because it was anything that's hidden comes back if you use Shift Y. If you're whatever is hidden, it kind of like knows what's in the other mode. All right. All right. So why don't you stop sharing? And now it's going to be Carolyn's turn to make shaft 3.
Okay, so section view is Shift X, right?
Shift X, yes. It also is a feature. There's a hang on a minute. Hang on, I have to get my annotation game on. There is a section. If you click here, yep, there's a thing that says turn section view off or turn section view on. You're in the middle of doing sections, so you can, if you're for some reason you can't hit Shift X because you're sitting on your hand or something like that, and you're whatever you're juggling, I'm not sure, but you're doing something that your left hand is just not possible to let go and do that. You can always get it from this screen as well. All right.
Okay.
All right. So Shift X and then choose front. Yep. There we are. Okay. Nice. Now, yours is going to be up here, and we're just going to make it long. So you're not going to do a up to face. You're going to do, well, actually, let's do up to a face, and then we'll extend it beyond the face. So, all right, you do the exact same thing that Zechariah did. All right, sketch to that face, correct? Yep, click. Good. Draw your circle anywhere, or draw your polygon anywhere. Good. Drop it. 6 sides. Okay. If you want to, you can do horizontal now. If you wanted to do that, you could use the horizontal tool. Good. Make it a 1/2 inch. And then make it concentric. So you can choose the center or you can choose the circle, either one works.
Okay.
And then now you have to somehow be able to get one of those edges. If you zoom in really close, you could grab that guy. If you zoom in really close, like really close inside of there, just keep going. Oh, there, can you see the edge? Oh, you go zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Just a little bit. There, it's right here. It's right there. Get it, get it.
It's not letting me, wait.
Don't grab the edge. Don't
Oh, it's
grab
right
the
here.
corner of the section. Grab the, okay, so now hang on. You can't do that. We got to undo that because bad things happen if you, yeah. So do the, so go back into into that mode. Yes,
It's
good.
not letting me click like the
So
side.
don't click on the section view. Click on the edge. Go in, zoom in and more here. Okay, now let me clear my mess so I can show you exactly where to click. If you click right there,
Oh.
there, you see, now you've got the whole thing.
Okay.
Anything that's in the section is kind of like verboten. You can't really use section things in the sketch because somebody might turn off the section and then what it's going to do with that. All right, so good.
Okay.
Now we just extrude this guy up. All right, we have to pick the sketch. We want to make new. Let's go up to face. Because we don't even know for sure if we've got the bearings right yet. We don't know if we have enough space inside of here for our gears. And we might have to change that later. So you want to go up to face and you want to choose the top face. Tilt, tilt, tilt. Tilt so we can see the top face. I want to see the opposite side of this wall. Tilt, tilt, tilt. Yeah, there we go. Now click here. So we want to go up to that face, but then actually we want to offset from that face. So you need to go over here and choose offset, and then add in, I don't know, let's say it's going to be 1 inch long. Sure, why not 1 inch? But now here's the problem. It had to pick which way should I offset, and you see how zoom out a little bit. See how short it's made it? It chose to go that way. Well, that's silly. We don't want that. Click on that button right there. Ah, yes, that's much better, right? You see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that. Click OK. Let's make it be the same color and the same material as this guy. All right, so first of all, we have to discover what color is that guy. So how do we do that? Well, you go in and you highlight it and you ask it what color it should be. So go, hang on a minute, let me go here. Go down here and drag this bar down. Change your name to shaft 3. And then highlight shaft 2 and right click on it. And then like say assign material, assign appearance. Good. And which one is it choosing? It should be highlighted. It's this guy right here. See, it's on this. So you're going to use that but you're going to point it to this guy. So now you can exit out of here, highlight your shaft, do the same thing, edit appearance, and click on that button. Yeah, good. All right, and now click OK. And now we need to tell it what material it really is, and it's going to be 6061 also. So you can right click on down here, assign material, type in 6061. You could also type in aluminum, I think, and it would give you choices for that. Yep. All right, and then click OK. Perfect. We don't know if this is giving us the right weights yet. Have we assigned these materials anything yet? Let's assign nylon to those materials as long as we're here. So we can get a weight, like how much is this guy going to weigh yet? right click. You can actually highlight both of them if you wanted to at the same time. Just
This
click
is-
and click. Yep, click and click. 1, 2. All right, right click and say assign material. And oh, it already is nylon. Okay, they're both nylon already. How did it both know to be nylon? Highlight them individually and see if they're both nylon or not. Not appearance, material. Yeah, nylon.
Didn't you split the parts?
No, I was going to split them, but I made a new part. All right, it somehow just assigned the nylon to them. That's fine. Perfect. What we don't know, I think the only thing we haven't really done, I'm not sure if it's going to do the motor the right weight. So that's fine. We don't really need to worry about the weight. Eventually we could assign a weight to the material of the motor. Okay. So it's looking very gearboxy, right? Does everyone agree that we're getting something that looks pretty close to a gearbox?
Yeah.
All right. So I think now is the time when we should add the gears in. All right. So they're all for me. Why don't you stop sharing? And all right. So there's the easy. Let's just. I'm just going to start sharing, and I'll do 3 gears in 3 different ways, and we can the easiest way is going to be just going in, choosing this here, and saying, first of all, how many teeth did we say this guy was? Gear 2, gear 1, 40, say 10, 40, 60, 10, 40, 20, 60. All right, fine. So we could go in, there's a thing called gears, and we could find the one that we want. How many gears? 10 teeth? So there's a little bit of a bewildering set of them because they're like, well, some of them have a spline, some of them whatever. So we want to find, so can I do a search here? Falcon, spline, hubs, nothing. Under gears. If I put in Falcon, all these have Falcon. Yes, okay, perfect. 10 tooth, 20 DP, steel, Falcon, pinion. Yes, let's do that one. All right, I'm gonna make that one the gear. Now, where did it go? Why, it's sitting in the middle of my part. Well, that's not really what I wanted. So we'll have to move it afterwards. I'm going to turn off my, I'm going to turn off things and then just try to, I make that one disappear. There's my gear there. So the easiest way to do things is to do it with, is to move things with mate connectors. So I'm going to transform that part. What part do I want to transform? It's that gear that I just grabbed. I don't want to translate it by part. I want to translate it by mate connectors. I want to choose. The thing is, you have to kind of find a circle that's going to give you the right center. You see, it's a little bit tricky to find the right thing because this is a very short. I'm going to close this off.
Something you can do actually.
Yeah.
If you hover over the face itself, hold shift, and then click the middle, and it'll give you the center of the whole face.
Yes. So this is not. It's fine. This part, if it wiggles a little bit, nothing bad is going to happen to us. But in general, it's not safe to select the center of something that you don't know. Anyway, we can do it this way, but I'm very wary of choosing the center of faces when I didn't design and know for sure that it's going to, because it's doing some math to figure this out, where centers of circles are pretty well defined. So I would prefer to do the center based on trying to get But the tricky part is I need to be able to see where the center is. At the same time, I'm trying to pick this small feature. And if I move around in the right spot, there's going to be one magical spot when it's going to show up, but I can't quite there. You see, now it's there. I can click as long as I can, but it takes a little bit of a finesse. It isn't necessarily wrong. It's just if you're sort of picky about getting everything exactly lined up, and knowing, especially if you're going to be rolling gears, getting the true center is an important thing. So then I'm going to do this in 2 moves like we almost always do. The first move is going to go onto the part. It didn't put it on the right side. That's more like the right side. And then I'm going to shift it up a little bit, but I'll shift it up in my second transform. So then I'm going to transform here, transform again. What part? This one, translate XYZ. In this case, I want to move it up in Z, 0.25. Probably still not enough. 0.375. That feels better. All right, good. Eventually we'll have to put some spacers and a screw on the end to kind of get it in the right spot. So that's the first way, okay? There's another way. And so that's, you can import the parts from MKCAD. The next one, we could go to I could go to Vex Robotics. Vex Robotics, and I could go to Pro. After I've gone to Pro, I go to, is it under hardware? No, it's under motion. Motion, gears. The gear I want is something with a 1/2-inch hex, 20 dp 1/2-inch hex. That's the guy. And now I can go to CAD files, and we wanted, I don't remember what I wanted. I wanted the gear 1 is 10 tooth, gear 2 is 40 tooth. So I can go to here, I can go to 40 teeth. Here it is. I can download that gear. It's going to show up in my downloads file. I can then import here. Next thing, go import. So I can do this with any step file. There it is, sitting in my download folder. I pick that guy up. I put them all in one place because it's a mess if you have it make a lot of different threads. It's going to magically appear in a new tab shows up here. I always put the tab into the CAD imports, and then I do a derived, and I pick the part, and it shows up. It's basically the exact same thing as what MKCAD would have done. But in this case, now I do the same transfer. I'll transfer, this one has a nice round hub, so it's pretty easy. The part to copy, the part here, by mate connector, paying attention to my mate connectors. Wait a minute, part to transfer, I haven't done that. Now my mate connector, notice what's blue. I want to go from here. My battery is running out to there. Flip it. Boom. All right. So that's the first one. Okay, now we're hang on a second. I better it's not in my house. It's how many we have 15 more minutes. I need to pause for a second because I don't have yeah, if I lose I don't want to kill the meeting. Hang on. Sorry guys.
All right, so while Joe's away, does anyone have any questions, like what we're trying to actually do here?
I have a question. So I
Yeah.
know we're making a gearbox, but is this gearbox for something that like we're actually making currently, or is it gonna be like something for the future?
So this is more of a practice gearbox. So when we need to make one for the
Yes.
future, we've kind of gone through the motions of doing it before.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, we don't have a purpose for this. We just were like, let's make a 12-to-1 gearbox. And what would it look like? Okay, so I'm back. The next way of doing it is my mouse is acting funny. It didn't like me walking away. The next way we could do it is you can just make like cylinders that kind of take up the space that you want. Well, actually, let me move that guy up a little bit. Let's do the next thing. The same. You guys should just get used to this. Is kind of like how your life is when you're transferring things. You kind of get it on the right axis, and then you move it a distance in Z point, I don't know, 063. And then you move it up. So you kind of, you use the first one by make connectors to get it on the right axis. And then the second one, you kind of shift it up to have it kind of be in the right spot axially. So, okay. So I don't know that I want to show people too much because you have to know a lot more about gears to like, if you wanted to, well, okay, yeah, let me just do it because, all right, so I'm going to just build on this one. I'm going to do a sketch, and my sketch is going to I'm just going to draw a circle, and the circle's diameter is going to be the circle's diameter is going to be, we said it was, I made some other things. It's going to be the end of gear 3 because this is the gear I'm making, but it's times. Actually, no, it's divided by pound sign. Is there a DP? Yes, DP. Sorry, I didn't select it. I just put the pound sign in. Go to the end of the thing. DP. There it is. Okay, so that's the size of the gear. It isn't the OD of the gear, it's just the thing. And then I'm going to do my standard trick by making it concentric. So make that guy concentric with that guy. All right, and then I'm going to extrude it just a 1/2 inch. 0.5. Which direction? There it is. So that would be like a placeholder for the gear. Now it isn't quite the right placeholder. It's a placeholder for if I did the next one. In fact, I could do 2 of them at once if I wanted to. Yeah, let's go do that one. Edit here. Edit the sketch. I can make another circle here. Put it on that. Make its dimension gear 4, pound sign gear 4. Gear 4 divided by pound sign DP. All right, concentric again. You are concentric. You and you are concentric. And then when we extrude them, it's going to complain at us. Oh, it didn't complain. Good. All right, so if you can see, these are like touching. But if I was wondering, like, how much clearance do I have to things? It isn't quite the right thing, because the exterior parts of the gear, you'd have to have a different number. You have to have the number +2. So I can go back and edit the sketch again. Here, edit the sketch. And instead of having this one be DP, I'm going to make it be DP plus 2. And then I have to put a parentheses here. And I'll do the same thing with this one. +2. And I think I need another parentheses here. All right, and so now you can see this is how much the teeth will overlap. So if you're just trying to hold space, this is kind of another way to kind of just hold space. But we only have 8 minutes left. So what I want to get to is the most common way you guys will do should be the first way I did it. The second way would be like, if you can't find something in MKCAD, go to the manufacturer's site, whether Markforge or not Markforge, Andy Mark or West Coast Product or some of the other places, and get the part and import it. The third way, you can just sort of use space holders if you're just trying to figure out, is my gearbox, the right shape. If you're actually going to want to make gears that are custom for yourself, so I'm going to turn these two guys off here for a minute, hide them. No, suppress them. All right. The next thing that you can do is, well, actually, no, I don't want to. Let me not suppress them. Unsuppress. Edit unsuppress, because then I can use those centers that I just made. Unsuppress. Okay. But I do want to hide those parts because those parts are not something I want to use right now. Okay. There's a feature script that I've installed that you should consider installing, and it's called GearLab. All right. If you search for a feature script GearLab, it is really a super powerful, very nice thing. It lets you make it lets you make all kinds of special gears, herringbones and helicals
Joe,
and all that. Yep.
for those of us who may not know how to install a feature script, can you do a brief overview of that?
That sounds great. Okay. So yeah, sorry, I'm going to be speaking fast. So in order to get a feature script on, you go to the this here, add a custom feature script, and you just search. If you just type in GearLab in there, it will come up with there's a GearLab feature script. That's it. So
Generally, you may want to, when you go to other documents, there's going to be like an
yeah.
official Onshape one, and there's going to be ones that have that are like verified.
Yeah, GearLab is actually, I'll do that in another class because I can't finish it today. But GearLab is, I'm not sure it's like the official part of but it's definitely a sanctioned, feature script. It's very, very, very common and it's pretty powerful. So I'm going to fill in the number of gear teeth would be # gear 3 I'm making, not gear 4, gear 3. It tells me the module I'm going to put in the module is, this is something that's a little bit goofy because, hang on a minute, I need to make a new variable. Yeah, I can do this. #, make a new variable. It's going to be a length. It's going to be called module. And it's 25.4 divided by # dp. The reason is the module and the dp are 1 over each other, except one's in millimeters and one is in inches. So that's where the 25.4 comes in. So anyway, actually no, because yeah, that's if I were to, modules usually are in millimeters. So I'm going to leave it in, I'm going to put it in millimeters there. I could have just left out and just said 1 over dp, but it'll be fine this way. So now the module is, okay, and then where are we? So this is 1 over the DP is the module is 1 over the DP. So pressure angle is 20. We're not doing a Belfinger, we're not doing a helix angle, it's a 0 helix angle. And the width is I think sorry, this is yeah, I'm just gonna leave this and I put in a bore. We'll make the bore, I don't know, 0.5 inches for now. We'll eventually have to fix this. We'll have a 0 key height and a 0 key width and a root filling. Okay, so anyway, Gear Lab. If I did this right, what I didn't pick, I didn't tell it where to put it, so it put it in the origin, but I actually wanted it to have an origin. Assign the origin, and I can pick the center that I used before. There. And now I vertex of the, yes. Why did that not work? Why isn't it happy with that? Hang on a minute. Let me hide some things because
I'm pretty sure alignment geometry isn't exactly putting the center of it where it wants to be.
I thought that is, yes. Inherit alignment geometry.
Try the face that the point is part of. Like the circular face that the point is on.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh, yes. It has to have a it has to have a it is a point isn't enough to define it. So yeah. Oh, yes, I know what this is actually. This is equal to 0.5 over the DP. Outside DP. Good. All right, so I can do the same thing. Did that work? Why is that not working? Oh, it has to be 0.5 inches over DP because that's a unitless thing. No. Why did that not work? Cannot use length as a limit as a
Isn't DP just a number?
DP is a number. Yes, that's right. Oh, sorry. I need to put a space. Sorry, guys. This is getting confusing. Still not there.
You need parentheses.
DP is 1 over inch. Do I need to have this be 1 over inch? I'm you know what, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna put in oh, sorry. Yeah, point. No. I can make a variable that would do that, but it'll be fine for now. So anyway, that is a way of doing it with DP. I can very quickly do what was the last one? I'll add that and then we will be done for the night. What am I doing? Oh, sorry, I'm not sure why my icon is broken here. Gear Lab again. The geometry is U. And I want to make it be the number of teeth is # gear 4. The module is 1 over what did I say? It was 25.4. 25.4 divided by # DP, and then I made it millimeters, and it will be fine with that, I think. And 20-degree pressure angle, 0, 0, 10. All these, no, I don't want a QA. 0 and 0. Okay, click OK. All right. So now we've got our teeth. If I were to unhide this guy here, you'll see that, oh, it's doing there exactly what the something is wrong with my center distance because these things should align exactly. And something is, I didn't quite have something lined up properly, but Anyway, you can see like it's taking up the thing I made with that N+2 business. Does exactly what the thing that it shows the real space we're taking up. So now I can unhide everything. Unhide show all parts except for part 16 because that's a crazy part. I can put on Control X, Shift X, sorry. All right, and we have the only thing left that we have to do is put in some spacers to kind of keep these things in the right spot. But other than that, we have a pretty great gearbox, right? It does a 3-to-1, 10 to 30, and then it does 20 to 60, I think. No, 10 to, it's a 4-to-1 and then a 3-to-1. Yeah, 4-to-1 and 3-to-1. Anyway, the next thing to do is to put them in an assembly and use, I'm not going to do it tonight because we're already over time, but if you bring everything into the assembly, you can mate them using these various mating conditions, and then you can have the gears, you can have gear relations so that when you spin one, the gears spin all at the same time. Not super useful other than making kind of pretty pictures, but will eventually, if you learn how to do it for the gears, you can then do it with arms and other kinds of things that when it will make a difference. So that is all I wanted to get to for tonight. What are there questions before we stop? I know we were going pretty fast, but there's a lot in there that if you can master all of the things that we had done in that, you will be really, really useful at being able to make pretty complicated mechanisms for our robot arm or robot chassis or robot intake or robot whatever. So anyway, let me be quiet. Questions? All right. I'm going to stop the recording. Yes.